Holy shit.
If ever the devil walked the earth.
He's not a man, but he's not a devil either. The devil can't be killed. That's exactly what I aim to do to Wyatt.
Jesus Christ, that made me jump.
Sheriff, only chance you have is I draw their fire. Lead them up into the hills. You can make it back to town. Try and find help.
I'm staying. Took an oath.
Hell no.
I guess the visitors don't know that they're bulletproof when
I'm
they
not
go in.
backing out now.
You wait till I lead them to the tree line. You make a run for it.
I'll tell you your horoscope.
Come again?
Markings on its shell. Look like stars. Orion, right?
Ah, it's a constellation.
What are you, Gallo-fucking-Leo?
Maybe it's in my backstory.
Give me one moment, Bernard.
Good afternoon, sir.
Why is this host covered?
I was just saying that.
I just...
Perhaps you didn't want him to feel cold or ashamed. You wanted to cover his modesty. Was that it? Doesn't get cold. Doesn't feel ashamed. Doesn't feel a solitary thing that we haven't told it to. You understand? What can I do for you?
So that's why he does it. That's to make him feel human.
I thought it best that we speak in private, sir.
Yeah.
Someone named Arnold?
Arnold.
With due respect, sir, I'm not sure you've told me the entire truth about this situation.
Well, I did tell you the truth, Bernard. What we do here is
That's his name, Bernard.
complicated.
We'll try and remember that.
For 3 years, we lived here in the park, refining the host before a single guest set foot inside. Myself, a team of engineers, and my partner.
You had a partner?
Yeah. When the legend becomes fact, you print the legend. His name was Arnold. Those early years were glorious. No guests, no board meetings, just pure creation.
Wow. I don't know if it's an actual, that's
The host
CG, but
began
that
to
is
pass
really
the
good.
gene test, the bicameral mind.
The idea that primitive man believed his thoughts to be the voice of the gods. I thought it was debunked.
No, it's a theory for understanding the human mind, perhaps, but not as a blueprint for building an artificial one. In his alienation, he saw something in them. He saw something that wasn't there. We called it an accident, but I knew Arnold, and he was very, very careful.
Split second, I forget where I am, or when I am. And I reach over half expecting to find him there next to me. Between us.
Do you ever wish you could forget?
This pain. It's all I have left of him.
Stop! Over here!
That was a bit cheesy, that bit.
Take this and go. Now, go! I'll hold him off as long as I can. Come on. Come on, damn it. I'm not afraid of you.
He's gonna die again. Okay, maybe not. He's a badass. Oh no!
This is bullshit.
He's shot
I can have a
him. He
retrieval
died, so they
team
must
out
be
here in the
visitors.
morning.
I need your help, Dolores. I need to decide what to do with you. I think I made a mistake. I was just fascinated. I was being selfish, but I think it would be better if I restored you to the way you were before.
He was trying to figure out if she was conscious.
Is there something wrong with me?
No.
That's what the conversations were about.
This place you live in, it's a terrible place for you. Imagine there are two versions of yourself. One that feels these things and asks these questions, and one that's safe. Which would you rather be?
I'm sorry. I'm trying, but I still don't understand.
No, of course not.
Starting to
There
develop a
aren't two versions
conscience.
of me. There's only one. And I think when I discover who I am, I'll be free.
Let's see where this path leads. And you won't tell anyone about our conversations.
No.
And you'll stay on your loop.
Yes.
It's not her dad, she's remembered.
Got any use for this one?
No thanks.
She's gonna get flashbacks to the man in black, isn't she?
Well.
See if she can pull the trigger.
Got some sand after all, I see.
That's definitely Trevor from
Looks like your
GTA.
boyfriend taught you a thing or two.
Come on, Gail.
Why don't we reacquaint ourselves, Dolores? Start at the beginning.
Shoot him. Shoot him.
Kill him.
Yes! Now that other gun is going to come into play.
Hey! Get back here.
What? She knew that was coming. Oh, it must have happened before. So, when she got shot there, was she seeing back to another time it happened? And if it was, I mean, she must have been able to fire a gun all along. Huh.
We just need his head when we're done here. You might want to look at the stars for this part.
Is HBO going to show it? Yeah.
Stop!
Oh. So there we have it, episode 3. So we had some really interesting moments in that one. First off, we learned that the reason Bernard was having those discussions was because he's feeling curious as to whether these hosts have a consciousness, a sense of worth. It seems like he's starting to feel guilty for what's going on with him, whereas on the opposite side of it, Ford is starting to be painted as the bad guy. Like, he just sees them as robots. He doesn't see them as having emotions. It's like I said during the reaction, why are they all naked? Why are they just sitting there naked? Why aren't they covered up? But it's because he doesn't see them as human. He doesn't want them to be treated as human. I honestly didn't think Anthony Hopkins would be the bad guy in this, but the way it's going forward, it seems like he is. So that's got me wondering about what his big new story is. Is it going to be something more sinister? On the subject of Bernard, we also learned that he had a son and he died. Now, I'm not 100% sure how this is going to play into the overall narrative of the TV show, but at the moment, I think it's just trying to humanise him, make you feel sorry for him, to realise that he is the good guy in this story. One thing that contradicts what I'm saying is the fact that Ford gave Teddy a backstory. Why would he give him a backstory if he's not trying to humanise him? Then we had the two from the Institute that went out into the Westworld. I don't know their names at this point, like I say, terrible with names. They went out into the world and went on search of one that was wandering, that had just gone off the course it's meant to be on. They finally discovered him, and apparently some others had been in a loop and drawing symbols of the stars. No idea what that's about, whether it's related or it's just something that's just going to be forgotten about. I have no idea, but who knows? We'll find out later on in the story, I suspect. Yeah, so they came across that guy, and apparently he just wanted to die. He started cutting off his head, but then he woke up when he wasn't meant to, just like Maeve did in the previous episode, climbed up the rope and then proceeded to smash his own head in with a rock, which was, yeah, that whole sequence was one of the most gruesome things I think I've seen on HBO, and I've seen a lot on Game of Thrones and stuff, so yeah, that was up there. That was definitely up there. We also learned about Arnold. Now, Arnold was Ford's partner in the business when it first started. It didn't really say much about him apart from he helped start the world, and he had the same thought as Bernard has, that they had a consciousness, or he was trying to build a consciousness. And finally, at the very end there, we saw Dolores start to become more aware that she was in a loop, because Bernard, as we saw in that one scene, he is now leaving her to get on with what was happening inside her own brain, where she was starting to realise that people always saying coming soon instead of today, or certain words were starting to trigger her to have these memories. We also saw as well, I said it during the action, but she couldn't fire a gun, but then at the end there she did fire a gun, but then she saw that part where she got shot in the stomach, but then she wasn't shot in the stomach. So I thought that might be a flashback to a previous time that same scenario happened, so she was seeing what was going to happen. But if that was the case, that means she has fired a gun in the past, if that makes sense. To get in that scenario, she had to use the gun. That's as far as I'm aware anyway. So it'll be interesting to see where she goes from here. Now she's remembering stuff. If she will start to have a consciousness, whether she will now remember everything, stuff will start unlocking inside her brain, and we'll start to learn more about her backstory. She'll remember like all the times her father died. She'll remember all the times Teddy died, and she'll start to realise that this whole thing she's in is just a big elaborate hoax. It'll be interesting to see how the character handles that as well. Whether it will start, because at the end there we saw her faint, like she is having a meltdown or something, which I guess it would happen to you if you found out you was in a theme park and you'd been raped and died and all the nasty stuff in the world had happened to you hundreds of times over, and then you just realise that would be, yeah, I can safely say that would be absolutely horrific. The whole thing with Teddy, I don't know what's going on with that. I mentioned that Ford gave him a backstory, but like I say, I have no idea. Like, that whole part of the story in this episode just seemed a bit out of place, because you knew it was created for him. So when he was living through it, it had no emotional impact because you knew it was all make-believe. If that makes sense, it probably don't, but it makes sense in my own head. It's like I was detached from it because it had just been created in that previous scene, and now we're living out in this scene, so it's just like, oh, it's just a big story line. I don't know. We saw Maeve have a flashback in this episode too again. She remembered when she was in the Institute and she saw all the bodies. But apart from that, we didn't really get much else. Like the previous episode, this was very much a story-driven episode, and we learned a lot more about Bernard. I think that's what this episode was all about, learning about Bernard's backstory, what motivates him, why he's having conversations with Dolores and stuff. We also learned a bit more about Dolores, and she progressed in a character arc where she is now like, she's now cognitive of the fact that she's becoming cognitive of the fact that this isn't real. So where the next episode goes, I have no idea as per usual, but I cannot wait to watch it. I am really getting into this series now, and I'm loving the dynamic they have with the whole, does AI have a consciousness sort of thing. Yeah, I think it's going to go really good places. Oh, before I do go, we had no Man in Black, which surprised me because he's probably my favourite character, even though he's evil, but, you know, he's interesting. And we had no mention of the maze, so that'll probably actually be brought up in the next episode, but we'll have to wait and see, but I'm so looking forward to it. I hope you guys are enjoying the series as well. Like, let me know in the comments below. Are you enjoying the series? Are there particular characters you're finding interesting? Just write in the comment section down below, and if you like the video, and I'll see you in the next one. So until then, bye bye.